Autumn 2007. The visitors' dressing room at Camp Nou. On the floor, someone has placed a blue plastic bathtub filled with warm, soapy water. Inside it, there is a 6-month-old baby. A door opens. A 20-year-old walks in and finds himself holding a stranger's child. He is extremely shy. He is, by every account of that afternoon, completely lost. The photographer that day was a freelancer named Joan Montfort. Years later, he described the scene almost apologetically. Messi was coming out of the dressing room, he said, and suddenly he was in another dressing room with a plastic tub full of water and a baby in it. He did not even know how to hold him at first. That baby is playing against him on Sunday. Now, almost everyone has seen the photograph by now. Almost nobody knows how those two people ended up in the same room. And that part is a much better story than the picture. Every year, Barcelona and the newspaper Diario Sport made a charity calendar with UNICEF. Players posed with local children. Half the money from the sales went to children's rights projects. To choose the families, UNICEF ran a raffle in Rocafonda, a working-class neighborhood in Mataró, about half an hour up the coast from Barcelona. A family there signed up, not because they had any idea their son would matter, partly because money was tight. They won, and the player they were assigned, out of an entire first-team squad, was Lionel Messi. Understand what that means. In 2007, Messi was not Messi yet. He was a promising 20-year-old, 4 Ballon d'Ors away from any of this. The calendar came out in 2008, sold, and was forgotten. Montfort filed the photos and moved on. He had no idea who the baby was until a friend called him, 16 years later, to say his old picture was going around the world. Because here is the detail that gets skipped every single time. The family knew what they had, and they sat on it. For 16 years, those photographs stayed in a drawer, deliberately. Yamal has said it plainly. His father kept them saved and never let them out, because nobody in that house wanted him growing up being compared to Lionel Messi. Think about the discipline of that. You are raising a boy in a neighborhood most of Spain has never heard of, and you are holding the single most shareable photograph in world football, and you do nothing with it. For 16 years. They finally released it after the Euros in 2024, once the boy had won something on his own. The caption his father wrote was 4 words long. The beginning of 2 legends. That neighborhood, by the way, never left him. When Yamal scores, he holds up his fingers in the shape of 304. It is not a slogan or a brand. It is the last 3 digits of the postcode of Rocafonda, 08304, the same streets where UNICEF ran that raffle. And the coincidences did not stop there either. 7 years after the photograph, that same boy walked into La Masia, the Barcelona academy that had built Messi. He made his first team debut at 15. The number on his back was 10. So on Sunday, everyone is going to tell you the same thing. The old king and the young prince. The torch being passed. And that story is wrong for one simple reason. Nobody is passing anything. Look at what each of these 2 men is actually being asked to do this weekend, because it is not remotely the same job. Spain arrive in New York unbeaten in 37 straight games. They have conceded 1 goal in this entire tournament. 1. 7 matches, 6 clean sheets, the first time any team has done that at a World Cup. And Yamal, the most talented teenager the sport has produced in a generation, has scored 1 goal in the whole tournament. 0 assists. That is not a slump. That is the plan working. Every defense Spain have faced has built its entire evening around a 19-year-old on the right wing. 2 men on him, sometimes 3. And every time they do it, Spain score somewhere else. Yamal is not being wasted. He is being used as bait. Argentina cannot do that. They have scored 19 goals here, more than anyone, and 12 of them arrived after the 75th minute, the most any team has ever scored that late in a single World Cup. Which is a polite way of saying that Argentina spend most matches not winning. And then, somewhere around the 80th minute, A 39-year-old finds a pass nobody else on the field can see, and the whole thing tips over. So forget old versus young. The real question is much narrower and much crueler. Can a defense that has conceded one goal in a month survive one moment from the greatest player this tournament has ever had? And underneath all of it, there is still that dressing room. A raffle ticket in Rocafonda, a blue plastic tub, a shy 20-year-old who did not know how to hold a baby, and a baby who had no idea who was holding him. Neither of them knew. Nobody in that room knew. That is the part people get wrong about destiny. It never announces itself while it is happening. It only looks inevitable afterwards. On Sunday, one of them walks away with the World Cup, and that photograph becomes something else entirely. So which version do you want to exist? The one where the man in the picture wins it, or the one where the baby does? But whatever the result is, I think these two will walk off that pitch with nothing but respect for each other. Messi will still be Messi, brilliant and quiet about it. That part does not need proving anymore. And Yamal is still the boy Messi once bathed at 6 months old. If he lifts that trophy, he is genuinely on the road to becoming the next great of this sport. But to actually finish that road, he will have to keep working, and keep learning from the man who once held him in that plastic tub. Tell me honestly, because I have changed my mind about 4 times this week. If this was worth your time, drop a like, and subscribe, because whatever happens on Sunday, we'll be here taking it apart.